What if I told you that a straightforward food could help you reverse muscle loss, even at 75? At first, that might sound too good to be true. But here's the surprising fact. Losing muscle with age isn't just about getting old. It's a deeper metabolic problem. And the good news? That means it can be slowed, even reversed. Think about this. If your legs feel weaker than they used to, if you find it harder to stand up from a chair, or if your balance feels less steady, those are not random annoyances of aging. They are clear warning signs of what's happening inside your body. Most people are told, well, that's just part of getting older. However, science says otherwise. Researchers from the National Institute on Aging point out that muscle loss after 60 is often tied to anabolic resistance. In this hidden condition, your muscles stop responding to the standard signals to grow and repair. Let me tell you about Robert. He's 67, a retired high school teacher who always stayed relatively active. One day, he noticed climbing the stairs in his home left him winded. His wife teased him, saying he was slowing down with age. But Robert felt something wasn't right. He used to walk up those stairs effortlessly. It wasn't until he spoke with a nutritionist that he discovered his body wasn't truly broken down. It had just stopped listening to the signals to build and maintain muscle. This is where things get interesting. Because when your body stops responding the way it once did, it's not because it can't. It's because it needs a stronger nudge. And research has found that certain foods, often overlooked or forgotten, can flip that growth switch back on even after 70. Here's the part that most people miss. The best food isn't whey protein, soy shakes, or eggs. It's something far older, something our grandparents and great-grandparents used to eat regularly, but most of us have nearly abandoned today. And this food doesn't just carry protein, it carries the exact nutrients that aging muscles need to respond again, to become sensitive to growth signals, and to give you back your energy and stability. So if you've ever thought muscle loss was your destiny after 60, I want you to pause. That belief is a myth. The truth is, your muscles are still waiting for the right message, and with the proper nutrition, you can tell them loud and clear, it's time to grow again. Picture your muscles like a sponge. When you were in your 20s or 30s, every time you ate a piece of chicken or did a few push-ups, it was like pouring water onto that sponge. It soaked it right up, building and repairing muscle almost effortlessly. But after about age 60, that sponge begins to stiffen. You can pour the same water, but most of it rolls off. That's precisely what happens with your muscles. They're still there, but no longer absorb protein and nutrients like they used to. This condition has a name: anabolic resistance. It means your muscles have stopped listening to the usual signals that once told them to grow, repair, and stay strong. And this silent process is one of the main reasons older adults lose muscle even when they keep eating well. Why does this happen? A few culprits are working together. First, hormonal shifts. As we age, testosterone, estrogen, and growth hormone, all key drivers of muscle repair, naturally decline. Even women experience lower growth hormone and other muscle-supporting hormones. With fewer signals, the grow button inside your muscles is harder to press. Second, mitochondrial slowdown. Inside each muscle cell are mitochondria, the tiny engines that turn food into energy. Over time, those engines lose efficiency. When they sputter, your body struggles to rebuild tissue as quickly. Third, and perhaps most damaging, is low-grade inflammation. Think of it as a small fire smoldering inside your body. It may come from poor gut health, high blood sugar, or stress. You don't always feel it directly, but it disrupts the communication between your cells, making recovery and repair sluggish. And then comes the lesser-known factor: anabolic resistance itself. This is when your muscles stop responding to protein and exercise as they once did. Harvard Health reports that muscle mass drops by about 3 to 8% per decade after 30, but after 60, the decline speeds up dramatically, partly because of this resistance. Let me give you a real-life example. Michael, a 72-year-old gardener, told me he was puzzled. He still ate the same diet he had in his 40s, plenty of chicken, fish, and even protein shakes now and then. But year after year, he noticed his grip getting weaker, and he struggled to carry his gardening tools as he used to. Michael didn't know that his muscles had stopped listening. The protein was there, but his body wasn't processing it effectively anymore. This might sound discouraging, but here's the good news. Anabolic resistance is not permanent. Think of it as that stiff sponge. With the proper nutrients and strategies, you can soften it again, teaching your muscles to soak up protein and respond to growth signals like they used to. And once that happens, the body can begin rebuilding strength, balance, and energy, even well into your 70s or 80s. Muscle loss is not a one-way street. You can stop and reverse it if you flip the right switches. Imagine knocking on a door. When you were younger, a gentle tap was enough. Your muscles heard the knock and responded quickly, repairing themselves after exercise, rebuilding after meals. But after 60, that light knock isn't enough anymore. Your muscles need a much louder signal. This is precisely what happens with anabolic resistance. The good news is, we can still knock harder, and your muscles can still answer. The loudest knock comes from one special amino acid, leucine. Think of leucine as the messenger that shouts, "It's time to grow." But here's the challenge. Older muscles need more leucine at once to flip that switch. Research shows you need around 2.5 to 3 grams of leucine in a single meal to activate muscle growth. That's the amount found in roughly 30 grams of high-quality protein. This is why protein pulses matter. Many older adults snack lightly through the day. Some yogurt here, a slice of toast there. The problem is, those small amounts don't reach the leucine threshold your body needs. It's like tapping on the door too softly. Your muscles don't notice. Instead, aim for larger, well-spaced meals with enough protein to make your body listen. The Mayo Clinic recommends that older adults eat 25 to 30 grams of protein per meal. That could be a breakfast with 2 eggs, a cup of Greek yogurt and some nuts, or a lunch of grilled salmon with quinoa and vegetables. Each of those meals would pack enough leucine to wake up your muscles. But leucine alone isn't enough. To restore sensitivity, you need to improve how your body uses insulin. Insulin is the key that unlocks your muscle cells so nutrients can get inside. If your body is insulin resistant, the protein you eat won't be used efficiently. Here's the encouraging part. You don't need a gym membership to fix this. A 10-minute walk after meals can dramatically improve insulin sensitivity. One study published in Diabetologia found that short post-meal walks lowered blood sugar better than a longer walk later in the day. That means strolling around your block after dinner can help your muscles absorb protein more effectively. Other small strategies can also help. A tablespoon of apple cider vinegar before a meal, or minerals like chromium and magnesium, have been shown to improve insulin sensitivity. Even brief periods of fasting, say 14 hours overnight, can give your cells a reset, making them more receptive the next day. And let's not forget movement. Light resistance training primes your muscles to listen again. You don't need heavy weights. Bodyweight squats, wall push-ups, or resistance bands are powerful tools. They act like turning the doorknob just before knocking, making your muscles extra ready to respond to the protein you eat afterwards. Think about Robert, the retired teacher I mentioned earlier. He noticed a dramatic change when he started eating enough protein at each meal and added short resistance band sessions thrice weekly. Within 2 months, he could get up from his chair without pushing on the armrest, something he hadn't done in years. Your body still wants to heal. It just needs the right push in the right direction. With leucine-rich meals, brilliant timing, and a little daily movement, you can retrain your muscles to soak up protein and grow again, just like they did years ago. Let's talk about insulin. For most people, the word brings to mind diabetes or blood sugar. But many don't realize that insulin is also one of the most critical players in muscle health. Think of insulin as a key. Every time you eat, your body releases this key to open the doors of your muscle cells, allowing protein and nutrients to flow in so they can repair and grow. When your body is insulin sensitive, those doors swing wide open. Protein, amino acids, and energy rush in, fueling recovery and keeping you strong. But when you become insulin resistant, the lock starts to jam. Even if you eat plenty of protein, it never makes it inside. It's like buying bags of groceries but leaving them on the porch. Your muscles stay hungry while the food goes to waste. Why does insulin resistance creep in? Years of eating too many refined carbs, frequent snacking, sitting for long hours, and even stress all play a role. Unfortunately, it's common after 50. The CDC reports that nearly half of adults over 60 have some degree of insulin resistance or prediabetes. And when this happens, it doesn't just affect blood sugar, it accelerates muscle loss too. But here's the good news: insulin resistance isn't permanent. You can train your body to become sensitive again, and often, the fixes are surprisingly simple. One of the most potent tools is walking after meals. Just 10–15 minutes is enough. A study published in Diabetologia showed that short post-meal walks improved blood sugar control more effectively than one long daily walk. Think about that. Simply strolling around the block after dinner is like giving your insulin a turbo boost, helping your muscles grab the nutrients they need. Another powerful method is intermittent fasting. Giving your body a 14–16 hour break from food decreases insulin levels, which helps your cells reset and become more responsive. Many older adults find this as simple as finishing dinner early and delaying breakfast a little the next morning. Sleep is just as important. Believe it or not, even one poor night of sleep can make your body more insulin resistant. That means the difference between a deep, restful night and a restless one could determine how well your muscles use protein the next day. Harvard researchers confirm that older adults who get consistent, quality sleep maintain better insulin sensitivity and stronger muscles. And then there are food-based helpers. A sprinkle of cinnamon in your morning oatmeal, a small amount of apple cider vinegar before a meal, or foods rich in chromium like broccoli and nuts, all give insulin a helping hand. These little tweaks may seem minor, but they make your muscles more responsive. The exciting part? You don't need to overhaul your life to see changes, even without intense workouts. Older adults who improved insulin sensitivity were shown in a 2019 Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism study to preserve more muscle mass than those who didn't. Imagine what happens when you combine better insulin sensitivity with the right protein and gentle resistance training. You're not just holding on to muscle, you're actively rebuilding it. So remember this: insulin isn't just about sugar, it's the key that unlocks the door to stronger muscles. And every step you take, every night of sleep, every wise food choice you make, helps open that door. Think of your muscles like a car engine. You can fill the tank with fuel, but without a spark plug, nothing happens. The same is true for your body. You might eat enough protein, but unless you get the right spark, your muscles won't switch on and grow. That spark is leucine, the amino acid that tells your body, it's time to build. Here's the catch: after 60, your muscles need more leucine to get going. This is because of anabolic resistance, the natural decline in your muscles' sensitivity to protein. In your 20s, a small piece of chicken or a couple of eggs could do the job. But now, you need a stronger signal. That's where one food stands above the rest: grass-fed beef liver. Now, I know what you're thinking. Liver? Really? Yes. This old-fashioned food your grandparents swore by is one of nature's most concentrated superfoods. Just 3 to 4 ounces delivers around 2.9 grams of leucine, enough to hit the threshold for muscle growth in one meal. And unlike whey or soy protein, which can cause digestive issues for some older adults, beef liver is a whole food, nutrient, dense, balanced, and highly absorbable. But leucine is just the beginning. Beef liver comes loaded with nutrients that aging bodies desperately need. 1. Vitamin B12 is crucial for making red blood cells that carry oxygen to your muscles. Without enough, you'll feel tired and weak no matter how much protein you eat. 2. Heme iron, the most absorbable form of iron, fights fatigue and supports endurance, something plant sources alone can't always match. 3. Zinc is essential for hormone balance, including testosterone, which plays a role in muscle maintenance for both men and women. 4. Copper and choline, which support brain health, nerve function, and energy metabolism, keep your mind as sharp as your body. These nutrients create a perfect recipe: more strength, stamina, better recovery, and even improved insulin sensitivity. Let me share a quick story. A nutrition expert, Evelyn Brooks, recalls a 70-year-old client, Margaret, who felt she was fading. She could barely carry groceries and dreaded climbing stairs. After adding just 2 servings of beef liver weekly, Margaret noticed a real difference within a month. She could walk longer distances, get up from her chair more easily, and felt a surge of energy she thought was gone forever. And if the taste of liver makes you hesitate, you're not alone. Many people find it too strong. The solution? Freeze-dried beef liver capsules. They deliver the same nutrients in an easy, flavor-free form. That way, you get all the benefits without frying up liver in your kitchen. The best part is you don't need to eat it every day. 1 or 2 servings a week, whether cooked or in capsule form, can be enough to flip that muscle-building switch back on. It's about consistency, not volume. So while eggs, chicken, or whey protein shakes certainly help, beef liver is like putting a spark plug back into your muscle engine. The missing ignition helps your body use all that protein more effectively. And fundamental transformation can begin once the switch is flipped, even at 70 or 80. Most people think building muscle after 60 is how much protein you eat. And yes, quantity matters. But here's the surprising truth. When you eat protein, it can be as important as how much. Your body's muscle-building ability isn't on all day. It works more like a window that opens and closes. If you eat at the correct times, keep that window open and your muscles respond. But if you mistime it, much of that protein slips away unused. One of the most powerful shifts you can make is starting your day strong. Eating at least 30 grams of protein at breakfast signals your body early on that it's in growth mode, not breakdown mode. Think of it as giving your muscles a wake-up call. Today, we're building. Unfortunately, many older adults do the opposite. Breakfast often looks like toast, coffee, or maybe a small bowl of cereal. That might give you quick energy, but it leaves your muscles starving. Instead, imagine a breakfast of scrambled eggs, Greek yogurt with nuts, or even a protein-rich smoothie. That single choice can change how your muscles behave for the rest of the day. From there, the key is spreading your protein intake evenly. The Mayo Clinic and the American Society for Nutrition recommend aiming for 25 to 35 grams of protein per meal, spaced across 2 or 3 meals. This steady supply of leucine-rich protein activates your muscle-building switch instead of drifting back into breakdown mode. Let me give you an example. Take Susan, a 68-year-old retiree. For years, she saved most of her protein for dinner, but her body wasn't as primed to use it effectively by evening. After learning about protein timing, she shifted her intake: an omelet with spinach in the morning, grilled chicken at lunch, and a lighter protein meal at dinner. Within weeks, she noticed more energy during the day and less soreness after her daily walks. Another timing strategy is about what not to do. Many people eat a heavy protein before bed, thinking it will feed their muscles overnight. But for some, this leads to restless sleep and poor digestion, which hurts recovery. A more brilliant move is finishing your last protein-rich meal at least 2–3 hours before bedtime. That way, your body can digest properly, repair tissues, and let you sleep deeply. And here's where science backs it up. A 2022 study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that older adults who front-loaded protein earlier in the day, especially at breakfast and lunch, gained more muscle and moved more confidently than those who saved most protein for dinner. Timing made the difference between struggling to rise from a chair and walking across the room with strength. If you practice intermittent fasting, timing is even more critical. The moment you break your fast is when your body is most primed for muscle growth. That's the perfect time to eat a high-protein, low-carb meal, such as salmon with vegetables or eggs with avocado. It gives your muscles exactly what they need, without a big blood sugar spike. So, don't just count protein grams. Please pay attention to when you eat them. Starting your morning with a strong protein foundation and spacing your meals strategically gives your muscles the best chance to grow, repair, and keep you moving with strength and confidence at any age. When most people think of muscle, they picture biceps, toned arms, or the ability to lift heavy weights. But here's the truth. Muscle is far more than a symbol of strength. It is the engine of your entire body, quietly running every system that keeps you alive, energetic, and independent. Muscles are where your body burns calories and regulates blood sugar. It acts like a furnace, burning fuel efficiently and keeping your metabolism steady. When you lose muscle, that furnace slows down. Suddenly, it becomes easier to gain fat and more complicated to manage blood sugar. That's one reason why adults over 60 often struggle with weight gain or creeping blood sugar levels, even if their diet hasn't changed much. But the story doesn't end there. Muscles are also protectors. They shield your bones, lower fall risk, and stabilize your joints. According to the NIH, adults with low muscle mass are 2 to 3 times more likely to suffer falls and fractures, the #1 cause of hospitalizations in older adults. Building muscle, even just a little, is like installing guardrails around your body. And then there's inflammation, the silent troublemaker we've talked about before. Strong muscles help fight it off. That's because when you move your muscles, they release tiny molecules called myokines. Think of these as text messages your muscles send to your brain, heart, and immune system. Stay sharp, stay strong, stay young. Research from the Mayo Clinic shows that people with more lean muscle have lower levels of chronic inflammation, which protects them against diabetes, heart disease, and even some cognitive decline. Let me give you a story. A 74-year-old grandmother, Helen, took resistance training seriously after a fall left her vulnerable. Within months, not only did her legs get stronger, but she noticed something unexpected. Her energy improved, her memory felt sharper, and her mood lifted. She said, "It's like I got 10 years of life back." That's the hidden magic of muscle. Even minor improvements make a big difference. Studies show that regaining just 5% of lean muscle mass can improve balance, boost insulin sensitivity, and increase overall energy levels. It's not about becoming a bodybuilder. It's about giving your body back the power to heal, protect, and thrive. And perhaps the most inspiring truth: building muscle extends life itself. Research consistently shows that older adults with higher muscle mass live longer, healthier lives. Why? Because muscle is not just tissue, it's a defense system. It supports your heart, brain, metabolism, and independence. So if you've ever thought, "I'm too old to worry about muscle," I want you to rethink that. Muscle isn't just about lifting weights, it's about lifting your life. It's the foundation for energy, protection, and freedom. By rebuilding it, you're not just adding years to your life, you're adding life to your years. Muscle loss after 60 is not your destiny, it's your decision. For years, we've been told that weakness, fatigue, and slower movement are just the price of aging. But science paints a different picture. The truth is, your muscles are still listening. They need the right message. That message comes in three powerful parts: giving your body enough leucine-rich foods to flip the growth switch, timing your protein so every meal works like fuel for strength, and keeping your insulin sensitivity high so nutrients can get inside your muscles. Add in light resistance training, daily walks, and restorative sleep, and you've built the perfect environment for muscle regrowth, whether you're 60, 70, or even 80. And remember, this isn't about chasing big biceps or looking like you did at 25. It's about independence. It's about climbing stairs without fear, confidently carrying groceries, and protecting your bones, heart, and brain from decline. It's about feeling sharp, steady, and capable every single day. If you take just one thing from this, let it be this: muscle is not lost forever. You can return it with the right food, timing, and habits. So I encourage you, start today. Add that extra serving of protein at breakfast. Take that 10-minute walk after dinner. Try that resistance band exercise in your living room. These little steps, done consistently, create transformation. I'd love to hear your thoughts on whether this message resonated with you. Drop a comment below. What protein-rich meal will you try this week? And don't forget to subscribe, because strength and health are journeys best taken together. Your body is waiting for the signal. Give it, and watch your strength return.